At the Chamber, we know education is where everything starts, for families, for communities, and for a thriving workforce. In this State of Education Spotlight, I'm sitting down with Superintendent of Natchitoches Parish Schools, Dr. Grant Eloy, to talk about the incredible progress happening in our district and what it means for our students, our families, and the future of our region. Dr. Eloy, first, thank you so much for joining us today. We are talking to all of our educational leadership across Natchitoches Parish to give the community a little bit of the State of Education address. So appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for getting the word out on what's going on in education in the area.
It would be impossible not to, honestly, for Natchitoches Parish Schools. I'm really excited to get into some of the questions that we have. So starting off with where we were a few years ago, it wasn't that long ago that Natchitoches schools were really struggling, ranked near the bottom in the region, but in just 2 school years, the headlines really flipped and you became one of the fastest improving districts in the state for now what has become 3 years and counting, no pressure. But for those who haven't followed the story, how did that kind of turnaround actually happen for y'all?
Yeah, so I mean, we were in the midst of COVID, but we knew that we were underperforming in all aspects, whether you compare it to the region, the state, or the nation. And so we started a partnership that really only could have happened because of the ESSER funds during COVID. And that partnership was with the National Institute for Educational Excellence in Teaching, And we created this whole new program where it's all about teacher collaboration and teacher support. So we have master teachers, and the whole idea is when you improve teacher quality, you improve outcomes from kids. So that's a really short version of what we did. It has a whole lot more to it, but the emphasis was on teacher collaboration, data tracking, and improving what was going on in the classroom.
In that time frame, you've now doubled your number of A-rated schools. You've completely eliminated the D and F schools in our district, climbed 16 spots statewide in just 5 years. So from a business or a community perspective, why do you think that progress matters? What does it mean for our workforce, our families, and our future?
The strength of a community, I believe, is really in their public school system. And so, I was that guy. I was coming to be the superintendent, but 5 years ago, I was looking at where do I want my kids to go? And my goal is that every school will be a good decision for a parent.
So now Natchitoches Parish Schools are just a few points away from being top 10 in the state. Very excited about that. It's a pretty big deal, and especially for a small rural community like ours. So what do you think sets Natchitoches apart from other places trying to improve their districts?
The reason that I think systemic change happened in Natchitoches is that a lot of districts will pick off a school here, a school there for turnaround efforts and things of that nature. And a lot of times it's your low SES schools or it's your schools that just have historically not done well. But what we looked at is we said we wanted consistency across the parish. We wanted parents to know that what was going on, whether it was professional development or in the classroom stuff, what was going on at Lakeview was the same thing that was going on at Natchitoches Central. What was going on at Provençal was happening at Weaver. And I think that when we made the expectations the same for every school, no matter what your demographics were, or no matter where your location was, that's what really made the difference for us.
All right, Dr. Eloy, I'm ending every interview in our State of Education address with the same question. When you think about your students' potential, what gives you the most hope for Louisiana's future?
The sky's the limit. We looked at the scores this year and we saw, oh my God, we weren't 49th, we weren't 50th. And not only that, we were in the 30s for the state. So I think what Dr. Brumley, what Bessie, what the legislator, what the governor, whether you agree or disagree with them, they're all aligned. And it's a special time in Louisiana education history. And I'm excited about just the potential that those stars aligning at this time, what that means for kids. You're gonna see some really cool people in the next 20, 30 years who came out of some of this stuff, so.
Every student deserves the chance to succeed, and every community benefits when they do. The progress we're seeing in Natchitoches Parish Schools is proof of what's possible when we invest in our people and believe in our future. Stay tuned as we continue spotlighting the institutions educating and empowering the next generation right here in Natchitoches Parish.